Welcome into the American Express halftime report, where we talked about the Nets all pregame show, and the Clippers, with the best record in the NBA, said not so fast, up one. Some social, dance on them, Kyrie. Nets versus Clippers, get the popcorn ready. Clippers came ready to play, jumped out to a 12-point lead early in the first quarter, and we're seeing everybody score. Shaq, Candace, D-Wade, Lefko again. American Express halftime report. Let's get to those American Express teammates and see how these five players are doing. All five of these guys in the top 21 in the NBA in scoring. 23 for Kawhi and Paul George. Kawhi had a big first quarter, only 2 in the second quarter. Durant, Harden, Irving, you saw that surge there in the second. Shaq, you wanted to spotlight Kawhi. What stood out to you?
Because I wish I was a kid right now.
Well, you kind of are. But...
And I would watch a guy like Kyrie. Kawhi, because he plays at his own pace. Now, everybody's not going to be able to jump high like LeBron or do the things that D-Wade did, but if you play at your own pace and play your own game, you can do this, right? He's not going to rush. Size him up, attack that leg, go to his spot. So all the young kids out there that's, watching all the superstars, you need to watch this guy. He plays at his own pace. He goes to his move. All the stuff that he practices in the gym, you should definitely watch Kawhi Leonard, definitely a superstar. And because, look, like I said, everybody's not going to be able to do what D-Wade did, do what LeBron did. But if you play at your own pace, you can get to this level right here.
And we know he has
this game since day one.
Diamond hands. Dwayne Wade, Paul George. Even before the game, you were like, man, we should have given him more love. Why?
Well, yeah, I want to highlight Paul George because he's taking a lot of flack, right? He's taking a lot of flack from people in the media. And not even just about these highlights. One, about these highlights, what I love is Ty Lue has done a great job of setting Paul George up for success and putting him in different areas on the court this year than he was in the offense last year. So he's having one of his best statistical years that I think we've ever seen out of PG. So the conversation is playoff peak. This is where Shaq and all the talking heads get to talk about Paul George. But here's my thing about PG. I played against him in the playoffs before, in Miami when he was in Indiana. Had an amazing playoff run versus us. I watched him in the playoffs versus LeBron following year in Cleveland versus when he was in Indiana. Had an amazing run. OKC, not a great fit for him. And then last year, we know what happened in the bubble. But here's the thing. When a player like Paul George goes through the injury that he went through, you're one of the most mentally toughest people that I think any of us know to come back from the injury. He's come back from an injury that most guys' career would have been over, to be an all-star in our game, to be a star in our game, to have a signature shoe in our game. So we know that mental toughness is there. And that's what a lot of guys attack on PG. But Paul George has the talent.
Yep.
I think what we want to see for PG is to take that next step of that leadership role, which we've seen Scottie Pippen do as a sidekick next to the other star player. We want to see Paul George take that leadership role and be like Scottie. But this guy can play the game of basketball, and I think he's having a great year, and he's not going to get any credit for it because of what he did last year.
To that point, career highs in field goal percentage, three-point percentage, and free throw percentage. The injury he's going, I didn't ask for any of this. Kansas, the other team, the Nets, started slow, but you kept looking at the TV and going, Lefko, they're coming back. What are you seeing? Why?
Lefko, they're coming back, and a lot of it has to do with the way that they're sharing the ball. Shut up, Shaq. The way that they're sharing the ball. Be quiet.
I didn't say nothing.
The way they're sharing the ball, I think a lot of the questions coming in was like, who was going to take that role to pass up good shots and get great shots? And so far, obviously, Kyrie knocking this down. We know any of them can get their own shots, but James Harden, kudos to him for stepping up. We've seen him lead the league in scoring, but he's really taken on that facilitator role, and I think it's benefiting everybody. As you know, defense has been a problem with the Nets, but as all of us know, when you touch the ball, there's a certain energy that you get when you run down back on defense. And when you don't touch the ball, I will debate anybody to this.
This is true.
When you don't touch the ball, you don't want to run back on defense and you don't want to play hard. So what's the best way for the Nets to get going? Yes, they have a big three.
Right.
And yes, they can score. But get those other guys involved so that once they touch the ball, they want to play defense a little harder.
I was going to say it's more important for the others to touch the ball so they don't get left out, because you're going to need them. Trust me, you're going to need guys to be in the corner when you get double, to hit that shot,
well,
more
Shaq,
that they're involved.
Shaq, you know how it works, right? Those guys have wives, they have brothers, they have sisters, they have friends in their ear telling them, well, you're better than that. You should get more. The team is only good because of what you guys bring. So the big three have to understand that we call the little 12, You have to make sure that they feel just as important.
Little 12.
Yeah, that's what Udonis and them called themselves in Miami with the Little 12.
Little 12.
But we understood how important the Little 12 was.
Is that one of those things where they can call themselves that?
They only call themselves that.
Okay, because you
But
can't call them
name
that.
as a
It's
big
kind of
three,
like
you cannot put yourself up here
Right.
and allow them not to feel on that same level. The media is going to do it. So you have to find a way both on the court
Right.
and off the court to make them feel just as important and a part of the success of the team.
Nets have not led in this game yet, but that doesn't stop social from chiming in. I didn't know they just had, say, diamond hands on this NBA on TNT broadcast.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Listen, man, if you don't know,
Listen,
Don't know.
can't afford it.
He's the cool one on the
Yeah, man. I'll fill you in the break.